Christmas Eve, Tommy and his sister Molly were sent to bed right after dinner. They didn't want to go because they were so excited about Christmas. But their mother said you must go now because you will want to be up early to see what Santa Claus has brought you. All right, said Tommy and Molly, and they went up to the nursery and put on their nighties. Pretty soon their mother looked into the room and saw that they were fast asleep. After a while, Tommy woke up. Molly, he cried, wake up, I hear sleigh bells. They listened, and sure enough, they heard the bells of Santa Claus' sleigh. In a minute, they heard the reindeer trotting on the roof, and then they heard him come down the chimney. I can't stand it, said Tommy. I'm going downstairs. I must see Santa Claus. So down they crept very quietly, but just as they got on the landing, the grandfather's clock struck 2. They looked into the parlor, and there was Santa Claus filling their stockings with toys and candy and everything. Molly was so surprised that she said, ooh, and of course Santa Claus heard her. They were awfully afraid he would be angry, but he was just as nice and pleasant as could be.
Well, well, greetings, said Santa. What are you children doing up so late?
We heard your sleigh bells, said Tommy, and we just had to see you. You're not cross with us, are you, said Molly.
Not a bit. I'm glad to meet you. And now what do you want for Christmas?
Tommy said, I want a teddy bear that turns his head and growls. And Molly said, I want a doll that walks and talks and says mama. Then Santa Claus said, go and look in your stocking. So they looked, and in Tommy's stocking there was the teddy bear. Will it growl? asked Tommy.
Will it?
Said Santa.
Listen.
And in Molly's stocking there was the doll, just the kind she wanted. There's only one thing more I want, said Molly. If I had money enough, I would buy a phonograph for my mother.
Just look over in the corner,
said Santa. And they looked, and there was the phonograph. Wonderful, said Molly. But you brought all these things before we told you what we wanted. How did you know?
Because I am Santa Claus, and I always know what good little boys and girls want, even before they tell me. And now, good night to you, and a Merry Christmas.
And before they had a chance to thank him, he popped up the chimney. But in their dreams all night long, they could hear his sleigh bells jingling in the moonlight.